Hello all, I hope you're doing well. If you have little ones at home, toddlers, you've probably noticed them trying to start saying words, making sounds. Kids should start saying words between about a year and a year and a half. If your child is that age or older and you're not hearing a lot of words, you may be getting a little concerned about that. So I've got some ideas for you, some things you can do to help help that speech and language development along. One thing is they may be making a lot of sounds, or doing a lot of that, and that's great. That is excellent. That is what you want to see. If they're doing that, they're just not saying a lot of words. You may check out some of my other videos, the one about imitation. There's also a couple of videos of Miss Catherine's about eliciting language. Those would be really good. If your child is not making a lot of sounds, you would describe your child as a very quiet child, whether or not the child is playing by him or herself or playing with someone else, just not making a lot of sounds. You really want sounds. You want them to do that. We call that vocal play or sound play. That's very important for speech and language development. It's how they figure out how to move everything in their mouth to make different sounds to eventually form words. And so that process, that sound play, that vocal play is very important. And there's lots of ways that you can help facilitate that, help get that going. And in my opinion, it's really fun. Like a lot of the things you're going to do, it's going to be fun. And so there are lots of ways to get sound. One thing is to kind of make a note of when you hear your child making sounds on their own. I'm also going to use the word vocalizations or vocalizing. That just means sounds coming out of their mouth. So when do you hear that? You may hear it more if they're like in the bathtub, or if they're playing by themselves, or in a mirror, or interacting with someone else. Kind of make a note of that and try to make more of those opportunities to have more of those activities that bring out the sounds in your child. Some fun things that usually bring out sounds is get a toilet paper tube, get a rolled up piece of paper, and da 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 do 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 do. You have one, the child has one, and you're both making sounds, or maybe just give one to the child and leave them alone and let them explore with it. That's a fun way to do it. Maybe getting in a small space, like in a box or under a table with a blanket on it. Sometimes the way the sound echoes, the kids like that. They might make noise, like in a bathtub or a shower. They might make noise just to hear the way it bounces off everything in there. So that might be something that gets them making noise. That's a fun thing to do. Also, another way is what I refer to as voice has power. And so you want to show the kids their voice has power. And when they make sounds, it makes things happen. There's a couple ways to do this. One is what I like to call kind of dance and freeze game. So if you're sitting there and your child all of a sudden on their own, what I call spontaneously, just makes a sound, ah. And so you hear a little sound, you make a little fun movement. And if they notice you, they might do it again. Ah, you do like a little dance. They may make their noise louder. So you keep dancing and moving until they stop and you freeze. So maybe they would go, ah. So you're dancing the whole time, ah. They stop, you freeze. You look at them, you wait, don't move until they make another sound. When they make a sound, you start moving. Stop when they stop. And they'll start to figure out, oh, wait a minute. It's my voice that's making my parent or my grown-up do this silly movement. And make it fun, make it silly. You might hear them start to laugh, and that's good too, because laughing is a vocalization. Laughing is sound. So that's a fun way, that little freeze and dance game. They really enjoy that. Kind of similar idea, find an activity they really like and wait to make the action until they make a sound. So games that are really good for this are things like peekaboo. So you cover up, and maybe a couple times you model it, you might say boo, and then they cover up and don't open your hands until you hear them make anything. It could just be a or a grunt or any kind of noise, and you open up and say boo, immediate. Do it really quickly so they start to connect. I made that sound, and that's why they open their hands up. Tickling is good for that. Tickle, 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 and then wait until they kind of laugh or make a sound, and then you tickle again. You know, playing with bubbles, pick up the bubbles and blow them, and then wait. Hold the wand in front of your mouth and wait until they make a sound, and then you blow the bubbles. There's lots of things like that. Pushing a car. You can have a car, and when they make noise, you push it and stop and wait to push the car again until they, make a sound. Hide and seek. That's another fun one. You can have another member of your family hide, and you're with your child, and you call, hey, hey, where are you? Hey. See if they'll start to call out. Maybe have the other person say, over here. I heard him. Let's call again. Hey. And try to work on getting them to initiate. There's lots of ways. You might find other ways that, get sound out of them, but just kind of be aware of what makes sound come out of your kid, and do more of that. Make it fun and show them that their voice has power, because that's what it's all about. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun with this. Like I said, it is one of my favorite things to do. I think you will, and enjoy. And until next time, take care.